Imagine that you wake up every morning and you cannot remember a single thing that happened yesterday. Might remind you a little bit of Groundhog's Day, but before I go to sleep is nothing like Groundhog's Day.
My name is Christine Lucas. I'm 40 years old and I'm an amnesiac. Tonight as I sleep, my mind will erase everything that I know today. Everything that I did today. And I will wake up tomorrow like I did this morning thinking that I have my whole life ahead of me. And the truth is half my life is over. It's coming.
Before I Go to Sleep stars Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth. And when you're introduced to Nicole Kidman in the movie, she's waking up in bed and she rolls over to see her husband, yet she has no idea who he is. Now this might sound familiar to some movies you might have seen before that have the whole amnesia thing going on. You know, the husband has to walk her through what happens. It's almost like 50 First Dates, you know? There's pictures on the wall and she sees these pictures and they're to remind her that, you know, this is her husband, this is what their family's like, here's what happened. And over again, every day this happens. And you can imagine how taxing that had to be on her poor husband and how much love you have to have for your wife to do this over the course of a decade or more.
You had an accident. It was a bad accident. You had head injuries. And you have problems remembering things.
What things? What?
Everything. You store up information for a day. When you wake up in the morning, it's all gone.
Problem is, you get the feeling pretty early on, something's not right.
And even if the periods before and after the attack remain blank, at least this will bring some continuity to the car.
What attack?
10 years ago, you were found on an industrial estate, not far from here. According to the medical report, your injuries were commensurate with repeated blows to the head.
So when you're sitting around with your friends talking about movies, you probably don't talk about, hey, you saw that movie, was it a 4-star or a 3? No, you want to know if it was any good, right? You want to know if you should spend the money to see it at the theater, who you should go with. So that's what we talk about every week right here on Reviews for the Rest of Us. So how was Before I Go to Sleep? It was really good. In fact, it was surprisingly good. My camera guy and I, we both came in here going, oh, this is going to be a yawner, but let's just see. And we came out being very pleasantly surprised. You never know what's going on. It's kind of in that same vein as Gone Girl, if you've seen Gone Girl. If you haven't, the whole idea is a whodunit. And that's what makes this movie great, because all the way through the movie, you think you've got it figured out, you think you know who it is, and you really don't. And it keeps you to the end. I love that. Some movies, you get about 20 minutes back from the end, and you're like, oh, seriously? And you just wait for it to end. Not this movie. So where should you see it? I mean, is it worth shelling out the money for the theater? I think so. I don't know that I'd go for any moving seat or anything like this. Definitely not a 3D movie, but it is an experience movie. Not only are you and, you know, if you have a +1, gonna be leaning back and forth saying who you think did it or who you think is going on with you think is going on, but the other people in the theater are going to be too. And because of that, as far as who you should see it with, man, this is a great date night movie. Also be a great girls' night or guys' night movie. What it's not is a great kids movie. Now, it is rated R, but this one's kind of weird, to be honest with you, because a lot of movies that are rated R right now, they deserve it. In fact, they're what you would almost call hard Rs. This one's barely an R. From all I can tell, the reason it got its R rating was because the F word is used 2 times or more, and supposedly that's a general rule with ratings. Other than that, this movie may very well be more like a PG-13. Still keep in mind, as a dad myself, I would never take a kid under 13 to this. Not only because of the foul language, but there's some dark scenes, there's sexual content, and there's the whole thriller intrigue thing going on that can cause some nightmares, even for your preteens and early teens. So, you know, keep that in mind. Hey, if you like these reviews, there's no greater compliment you can give us than subscribing on YouTube, liking us on Facebook and Twitter, and telling your friends. And you're always welcome to stop by our website, see our other reviews, read our other reviews, even share one of your own. You can find us anytime at reviewsfortherestofus.com. And I'll see you next week when we're going to be talking about the new sci-fi thriller Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. Can't wait for that. Next week on reviewsfortherestofus.com.